Okay, we all know what time it is. It's Tea on Tuesday. We almost didn't get it today. I mean, there were so many things happening between the babies and filling orders, but it's 4 o'clock. So let's do this thing. We've got some fun stuff, and there's something kind of different I want to show you guys today. We talked about marshmallow root in our last Tea on Tuesday, and I have something for you guys here. This is mallow. But this isn't marshmallow. This is just called mallow. Cheese weed. It's got a little flower on it, you can see. So this is, I just dug up a root because this is everywhere where we live. And we finally just got a little bit of rain. Look, we've got ants even crawling all over it. They're like, our home, something has happened. Where do we go? So this grows everywhere right now. And this is related to marshmallow. And we're going to look up how we can use it. And again, it's just in the same species and how available it is. And here's our root. So I've washed the root, as you can see. Now this is actually a tiny root. For the size of that mallow, I thought it was going to be a much bigger taproot. But then again, how mallow works is if it's taller, get ready for the Hulk to need to pull that root out because these things are tapped in like nobody's business. That's why they're full of nourishment. Now, if they're low to the ground, like the sucker was, makes sense. So he had a stub little root. He's like, he could only go so deep, but boy, he made up for it in his little side shoots, didn't he? So just know the taller it is, get ready to work. And only pull these babies out, guys, when they've been watered real well, or you're going to regret even pulling them out because they are a workout. But we just rained, so it's perfect. Okay, so first things first, guys, is I just removed the side shoots personally. I mean, I just basically get, now remember it's a root, so it's like not fun to work with. It's like horseradish and stuff. They're generally quite hard to cut through. There we go. They're not like you think where you're gonna go, I'm just gonna take the cheese grater too, it's gonna go real easy. No, these roots are roots, man. This guy wanted to stay in the ground. He didn't want to be out here in our tea. So you've got to I've always found that when we're doing stuff like this, first things first, don't sit back and go, it's going to be so easy. We'll just do it real quick. Always think it's going to take a little time. We're doing something new. We haven't done this before. If it goes quick, it's just a blessing. But most of the time, when you're trying to do new stuff and dig your own roots up and you haven't done it a ton of times, it can be a little bit of a pain. Okay, now I usually peel these guys. And you can see just how I'm running it down the side to get a good clean. We don't want the dirt. Now this is just a regular old cheese grater. It doesn't like peeling them generally. They get strandy, you can see. But I've always felt it did just enough. And really all I'm trying to do is get the jaggeds and the dirt. I mean, we've washed it, but you don't want a rock or something caught in that root, and now it's going to get in your dentures. So I always suggest however you can clean the exterior is good enough for me. All right, I like the look of this guy. I pulled a big root the other day. I was going to save it for this and put it in the fridge, and I forgot about it. And I was like, so that root was a goner. Whoops. This guy's going to be a beauty. I like when they're a little bit larger like this one. These nublets are always tricky, guys. So remember, it's a root. Roots are stringy. This isn't a carrot root. It'd be cool if it was. Carrot roots are pretty awesome, but this is mallow, and mallow is a whole nother animal. That's why when some people go, well, I'm just going to grow a crop load of this stuff and never buy it again. Grow your first crop, harvest it, and then tell me what you think about it. Because most of these roots can be a real pain in the booty to harvest. I mean, I've had some. Burdock is an easier one, but don't wait on burdock because you'll hate yourself. I waited too long on it, and it was so hard to cut through just after a couple days. All right, one more little hunk here on the side, and we're going to cut this guy up, and we're going to reap the benefit of what the heck is happening with this root. Well, it is tapped into my yard specifically just to give me nourishment. We can't ask more of that. All right. Now, remember how, I'm going to kind of show you, well, this is a good example here. When you're purchasing root, so these are our other teas, and we're going to go through each one. I can just show you real quickly while cutting up the root. So this is stinging nettle root. So when I start cutting this up, you're going to see the same sort of thing that's occurred where it's strandy, okay? This is what most roots do. Most roots look like. Now you can take them into your chopper. Be very careful. Always do small bits of it, because if it gets strandy and you got a weak chopper or a Cuisinart or something, you're going to blow that unit up. So, you know, test drive it with just a small amount of chunks. I usually try to cut them really thin and then try to pulse them. So, but for this, we're just going to actually use some of the root itself and chop it up, because that'll be the easiest for me. And then we'll go through what else we've got here. And I'm actually not going to, because we've got so many ingredients, we're only going to use half of that guy. Cut these in half. So here's the deal. You want to expose as much surface area as you can to your roots and things. That's why you'll commonly get things very chopped up. Your dried herbs, well, yeah, you can use them in big form, but you're really wanting a big bang for your buck. When you chop it, you have more surface area touching, and it immediately on open wounds can take all the goodness out of that leaf. So that's kind of the theory on it. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys that, now I could have just pulled some stinging nettle too, but honestly, I'm a woman on the go and don't have that time. We've got a ton of stinging nettle going on out there, and could have freshly grated the root, but just thought I'd use you from my already dried stuff and kind of show you what we're using. So there's our mallow. And again, I'm usually doing about a teaspoon per cup of water. You can do more or less. It's totally up to you. But that's generally the going rate. Okay, and we're going to go through all these as soon as I show you what we're doing. So next we're going to put in is beautiful nettle. Everybody knows stinging nettle. It's not a good friend. I don't even wear gloves. I've never worn gloves a day in my life. And stinging nettle's amazing because I know how to pull it barehanded, no problem, because you don't ever touch the stinging nettle. So there's always a 1-inch portion right at the base where it goes into the dirt and starts its first leaf, that it'll never produce nettles. It'll never get stingy. So I pull them all like this. I'm a professional nettle puller. But let me tell you, this guy, he warrants an award in the garden because makes everyone scream that touches it. So most people are familiar with just the outer leaf. Rhea was like, oh, I got the green stinging nettle leaf. Yes. Powerhouse, like spinach, amazing, loaded in tons of benefit. Always remember, like I was telling her, if the leaf is loaded in it, what about the root? So in winter, it puts all that energy right back in that root, takes it away from it flowering and what happened over summer. So the root can be amazing. That's why ashwagandha, things like that, what is used more often is the root, even though we can use the plant too. Same with a lot of things. Burdock, I mean, you can eat the leaves, but the benefit is the root. So always remember your roots. Whoops, I was gonna set down, didn't add any. Again, I do 2 pinches. 1, 2. And we're gonna go through this fun combo here. So eventually I'll just, pull out my herbs out of the garden. But for now I do have an incredible stash dried away. So I don't pull a lot out fresh. But I ran out real quick and thought, let's go get a couple fresh things. So we've got some white sage here. I've shown you the pineapple sage. I'm a fan of the medicinal benefit of the white sage personally. I grow my own, so anybody that's going to get upset there about me stealing it from the wild, because it's kind of sought after white sage, and I know it's kind of I want to say almost protected, even though there's so much of it. I know that the Native Americans and stuff say it's like you shouldn't pick it, or I grew my own, just so you guys know. I never picked it from anyone's place. It grows from seed, quite simply. And once you get one bush going, guys, this will grow a plant. There's a plant. Nice. There's another plant. If I was to grow a plant from this, and I don't usually like them this tiny, but this would still grow a plant. They do better short than they do long. If you want to grow a plant, you remove all but a couple leaves. A big leaf there too. There. That's what you would plant right there. Boom, and you'd go right up to that tiny little thing. And if you were ever to do it on a bigger one, same thing. I love propagating. So like this guy, Get your one stem. Now, because it doesn't have a leaf at the top, believe it or not, just those little interior leaves, I'd get rid of all the big leaves because it's too much energy. There's a little bamboo-looking piece of sage you could plant. So everything is quite easily propagated when it comes to herbs, and I love that. I am an addict on that. My house could just be for herbs, except for my husband would probably leave. So this is burdock root. I've grown it many, many times. Again, big, strong taproot, guys. Wherever you grow it, you want it to be moist or you're not going to get it out of that ground. And after you grow it, be prepared to always get a seed more of it until every year you just keep pulling it out if you want it gone. But I think it's fun when it comes back. So we'll do a couple pinches of this too. Now, anytime you're doing roots like this, guys, ideally, now I'm doing a quick tea for you here. Ideally, when I'm doing root, you really want like it to go about 30 minutes, even an hour. Not on simmer hot. You could go up to a boil is what I like to do. Then turn it off, put your teas in and let it sit for 30 minutes. But my stove actually doesn't cook as hot as people do. We make sure that we're not running at max capacity here. I mean, I don't want to cook myself out of the house too. This is fresh lemongrass. We sell this. This is the root. This is divine. Oh gosh, it just is such a good smell. It is a lemon in grass. Talk about blood pressure. I remember when I was researching for my mom, because it was like grapefruit lowers your blood pressure. What else does? Oh, cinnamon does. What else? Oh, come to find out there's quite a few medical studies on lemongrass alone and the benefits.
Wow.
So we don't follow the rules on lemongrass. We just put a bunch in because lemongrass is different. Now, turmeric. Who doesn't love turmeric, guys? Everybody's wanting turmeric. I don't like turmeric powder too much. And does turmeric work better with a little pepper? Yes, it does. So we'll be adding a smidge of pepper, guys. Not a tablespoon or anything, okay? I love turmeric ground. The few times I grew it, this is how I liked it. So I don't really buy it powdered unless it has to go hidden in something. I just love the chunks and how it just takes it all out from it. But again, it's a root. It is a root, so we need to know this stuff takes some time. So even though it might seem like, oh, you watched a quick video, when you're doing it, make sure you give it that time. Tea is not about being in a rush. Oh, I gotta hurry up, make that tea. If that's how your day is going, then maybe have something prepared ahead of time where you already made the tea. It already steeped for the 30 minutes and cooled down, because most of these teas you should drink cold anyway. Most of these teas are not good to drink hot in our body. And I've got some honey and some cinnamon stick. This is what we're going to sweeten it up with. And we're going to be ready to go. But I think what we're going to do now is find out what's going on about some of these herbs. So, let me turn this little lid. Oh, wait, let me give it a stir. And then we'll see what's going on. Oh, I already like the smell of the lemon. Okay, and by the way, the cheeseweed, perfectly edible, guys. It's called cheeseweed out here. Doesn't taste like cheese, by the way. If it did, you'd see me eating it right now because I love cheese. Okay, let's see. What do we got going here? We're going to start with the mallow, and I started in Culpeper's Complete Herbal. I just randomly picked it up. I do know that I have a few books that I can't pick them, particular herbs out for you guys, because as much as you like me reading in the Herb Doctor, and I got this one here I thought I'd show you today too, it's the same thing. This is all Joseph Meyer, but this is the Herb Doctor and Medicine Man. But they're all started by your sickness and ailment. So it's kind of done in reverse, where you got to think of in the 1850s, you were like, my stomach, I'm going to die. So you looked up, my stomach, I'm going to die. And it was like, drink wormwood, or whatever. So I go in reverse when I'm showing you the herbs. I know it in reverse, and it's harder to look up. So let's start with the mallow. Anyway. Oh, mallows and marshmallows. Okay, and we might have even read this already because of the marshmallow last week. So you guys are going to get it again. Okay, so this one again, common mallow. And I don't normally talk about the plant because That's not as important as what it does, the shape and all that. But since we're looking at mallow and we've dug it up in the yard, I want you guys to see exactly if its description is similar. So it says the common mallow are generally so well known that they need no description. That's pretty much it around here. Our common mallows have divers soft, hairy white stalks rising to be 3 or 4 feet high. Yep. Spreading forth many branches. The leaves wear off are soft and hairy. Yeah. Less than the other mallows, because the other mallow is very, very tall and slender. The stalk, if you've ever grown it, and the flower is very large, unlike this one's kind of in reverse. Less than the other mallow leaves, but longer pointed cut for the most part, into some few divisions, but deep. The flowers are many, but smaller. Also than the other mallow, which are white, tending to a bluish color. Yes. After which some come along around cases and seeds. So you can see this one was trying to seed. And this is what it's talking about here. Here's the little seeds pods. And if we have any open, there's a little purple starting to open. And if you've ever, here's one. Here's some, they get even bigger if we see. It's just the beginning of this guy. So if you saw mallow, the medicinal form that I've grown, much different plant for them to be so related. It's shocking. The flowers are very large on it, very slender, tall stalk. It's quite incredible. And yet, I mean, a completely related species. Sounds like the book described it perfectly. Okay. So this is done, remember, on government and virtues. Do we remember that, guys? And I do remember when I read this last week, this one was the only one on government and virtues, which is talking about the benefit that went into multiple pages. So what is that telling you? It's like the root. Anytime you're going, wow, why did they need 3 pages for that one? They only talked about lemongrass in a paragraph. There's a reason. Okay. Venus owns them both. Probably no one cares about that, but it's kind of fun. The leaves of mallows and the roots boiled in wine. Oh yeah, I was supposed to make it out of wine. And water, or in broth, with parsley or fennel roots, open the body and are very convenient in agues or other distempers of the body. To apply the leaves warm to the belly. That's interesting. So anybody needs some leaves? Because there's quite a few right here. It's not only voideth choleric and other offensive humors, but clysters conducing to those purposes. The same used by nurses procureth them stores of milk. Okay, why? Like last week, that's obviously we're talking about a mother and milk. This is probably like sow thistle. It's so full. Anytime you've got a tap root that starts going deep, it's drawing up nutrition. The decoction, guys, this is what I was talking about. You want to go 30 minutes. The decoction of the seed of mallows made in milk or wine marvelously cures, I don't even know what an exoration is, or piss thick, or pleurisy I've heard of, and other diseases of the chest and lungs. But I can assure you, you're going to want to go dig this up in your yard if you guys are feeling like you've got some of those. There are probably terms used more back then, but if it be taken constantly. Well, I think there's enough of it taken constantly, guys. I mean, again, the leaves and roots work the same effects. They help much in the excoriations of the bowels and hardness of the mother, and in all hot and sharp diseases thereof. So back in the day, they used to call diseases, they were either hot, they were sharp, they were cold. It was very interesting. And you know why? It's because it would put your body into that state of thing. Have you ever hurt yourself and it got hot? It's quite interesting. I mean, I'm just kind of learning as I get older, but in all hot and sharp diseases thereof. The juice drunk in wine or the decoction of them therein promotes speedy and easy delivery. Well, if anybody's going to deliver a baby, they need it. Pliny saith that whoever shall take a spoonful of any of the mallows, that day shall be free from all threatened diseases. I think I read that on last Tuesday and was just as stunned as I am now. And it is good for all falling sickness. falling sickness. The syrup and conserve, so I'm imagining they're making a preserve out of it, like a jelly or a jam. It's conserve, which is made out of herbals. The syrup and the conserve made of the flowers are very effectual for the same diseases and to open the body. The leaves bruised and said, oh, that's right. The leaves bruised and laid to the eyes with a little honey take away the apothemas of them. That is kind of crazy because you go, I can't imagine back in the day honey and this, and maybe you've gone blind and it's going to heal your eyes in some way or another. It's crazy. Let's see. Take away the leaves bruised or rubbed upon the place stung with bees, wasps, take away the pain and swelling. Discord saith the decoction of the root and leaves are an antidote to poisons. Well, good thing we're taking it. I did drink a lot on karaoke night. A poultice made of the leaves, boiled and bruised with some bean or barley flour and oil of roses added, is an especial remedy against all hard tumors and inflammations. Guys, we're getting into pretty deep stuff if you're watching this whole video. I mean, we're only talking about common mallow that everybody is wanting to burn, torch, or Roundup ready it. And it sounds like the Roundup you're going to use is going to kill you of the cancer, but the plant you're trying to kill could cure you of it. I don't know. I mean, it didn't say that. I just was saying it, but it's pretty impressive. Okay. Let's get back to where we were about tumors, inflammations or impothumes or swelling of the testicles. That's right. So boys and men, all you out there with some problems down there, get this in your tea. Get it in your juice. I rub it on your wiener. I don't know. You're rubbing it on your eyes. Maybe if you crushed it up and soaked your, a gauze around your balls or something. I'm just saying that sometimes it's impressive what this stuff can do. It softens the hardness of the liver and the spleen. The juice of mallows boiled in oil. Rhea still loves that one. The juice of mallow boiled in oil and applied taketh away all roughness of the skin, scurreth, dandruff, dry scabs in the head or other parts. So a lot of people asking for what to do with their dandruff. I told them to buy neem oil because it's amazing on the skin and the scalp. But also, it sounds like you could just make your own with the leaves of this in some oil, which is amazing. It says it preserves the hair from falling out too, which I don't know that neem oil does that. So this might be better. It also is effectual against scaldings and burnings, St. Anthony's fire, and all hot, red, and painful swellings in any other part of the body. So it sounds like if you've got anything hot and red and painful, boom. The flowers boiled in oil or water, whereunto a little honey alum are put, is an excellent gargle to wash. Again, impressive. So it sounds like we're going to be able to get rid of some bacteria in our mouths. Cleanse or heal any sore mouth or throat in a short time. If the feet be washed with the decoction of the leaves, roots, and flowers, it helpeth heat and rheum from the head. Interesting. So if you soak your feet, it's going to help your body, and especially in the head. If the head be washed therewith, it stays the shedding of the hair. So once again, my mom's losing her hair. She should be bathing in this stuff all the time. I have a feeling she won't be. Marshmallows are a gentle purge, and in decoctions for clysters to ease all pains of the body, opening a straight passage and making it slippery, whereby the stone may descend more easily and without pain out of the kidneys and bladder, and to the ease of the torturing pains. Just get some mallow. I mean, God, guys, I don't even know. This is like kind of doing a comfrey thing on me where it just is like from top to bottom, the kitchen sink, it's going to help you with. And we're not even done, guys. We're not even done here. Okay, torturing pains. But the roots are of special use for those purposes. And coughs, hoarseness, shortness of breath, and wheezings, being boiled in wine or water, are good with good success, used for excoriations of the bowels or the bloody flux, easing pains, healing the soreness. Again, pain, soreness, bloody, tumors. We're going on and on and on. It's really just an impressive gift from God. Torturing pains. This sounds like I'm reading horror movie. Wine, bowels, bloody flux. Okay, find out where I am, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, if it's profitably taken for rupture, cramp, or convulsions of the sinews, and boiled in white wine for the empophthalmos of the throat, in the king's evil, and in inflammations and swellings in women's breasts. The dried roots boiled in milk and drunk are good for the whooping cough. Well, the whooping cough went around this town like about, I don't know, 6 years ago. Hippocrates used to give the decoction of the roots or the juice thereof to drink to those that are wounded and ready to faint through loss of blood, and applied the same mixed with honey and rosin to the wounds, as also the roots boiled in wine to those that had received any hurts or bruises, falls or blows, or had any bone or member out of joint, or any swelling, pain, or ache in the muscles, sinews, or arteries. The mucilage of the roots and the linseed and fenugreek put together is much used in poultices, ointments, and plasters to mollify and digest all hard swellings and the inflammation of them, and to ease pains in any part of the body. The seed, either green or dry, mixed with vinegar, cleanseth the the skin of morphew, and of all other discolorings, being boiled throughout into the sun. Okay, I'm thinking of, I just lost the name of it, but it's where they have dark and light skin, basically.
Hyperpigmentation?
Not that, it was like, but yet you're on to, there's a few of them. I had a friend that had this one though, and it just made white patches, but it was something that could go away. I was thinking of almost like that. Anyway, a young man related to me had the bloody flux, and the excretion of his bowels was very great. Myself being in the country was sent for, the only thing I gave him was mallows, bruised and boiled in milk and drunk. In 2 days, the blessing of God being upon it, it cured him. And that's the end of it.
That's amazing.
So that's mallow. Let me check our tea. And we'll move on to the next. Oh, yeah. Oh, got a good boil on her there. Okay. Next, I'm thinking we do burdock. And then we'll do some turmeric. Let's see what we've got in the complete herbal before we have to go into any new books, because it's a lot more fun. Okay. I know burdock is a massive thing of the past, so it should easily be in here. Here it is. It's under Venus again. 61. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, I can't get the page. There we go. Wait. It's not on the page. We're in the bees, but we're not there. Hold on. Buxorn. Bugle. Where are you? You are. Some of these old books sometimes aren't. Oh, okay, so it was 5 pages away from what they said it was on. Okay, burdock. And I've grown burdock in pots too, guys. So if you want to try growing in a pot, you just have to have a deep one. So that's why I use the trash can too, because you can get a lot more depth out of it. Those taproots want to go deep. Oh, excuse me, guys. It's been a long day. Okay, burdock. Another one with a whole page. Okay. It is well known by little boys who pull off the burrs to throat one another because they stick so. Yes, they do. It has some nasty burrs on it, just to let you guys know. I don't think I played with them, but I'm sure some kid would. They grow plentiful by ditches, waterways. You know, I love when they say this in these books. So they used to, just so you guys know, they used to grow plentiful by ditches like that and stuff. Not anymore. You really got to look for herbs nowadays. You're only lucky when you just find it out there. Okay, government virtues. Venus challenge this herb for her own, and by its leaf or seed you may draw the womb, which way you please, either upward by applying it to the crown of the head in case it falls out, or downward in downwards in fits of the mother by applying it to the soles of the feet. And if you would stay in its place, apply it to the navel. And that is one good way to stay the child in it. If anybody understands what I just said in that very, very old language, this is how you do not abort your baby. That is very, very big. And they're talking about the soles of the feet, putting it in the navel. You know why? Because you're laying down. There were certain things you could see, quite interesting. I hadn't read that before. Anyway, burdock leaves are cooling. Okay, so that's cool. We're not hot anymore, we're cooling. Moderately drying and discussing withal, whereby it is good for the old ulcers and sores. See, there we go. That's not even the root. They were talking about the leaves. Ulcers and sores. A drachm of the roots taken with pine kernels helpeth those who spit, corrupt, or bloody phlegm. You know, you're in a bad place when you are spitting bloody phlegm. Without a doubt, I would definitely be drinking some burdock root with some pine kernels. You know what kernels are, right, guys? When you've got a seed. So the apricot, when we pull the apricot out of the fruit, how are you getting your apricot kernel for your B17? You've got to crack the seed. People look at that seed and they go, how do I eat this? Do I chew on it? No, unless you want to break all your teeth. You get a nut cracker and you crack the seed. And there's a kernel inside that you're going to eat. Okay. So, and just to let everyone know about the pine, actually, which is right here. Let me get back to where I just had it. Leaves. Okay, here we go. So what I was talking about with the pine kernels, who buys pine nuts? Anybody? Anybody? What's in pesto? Pine nuts? What's that? That is a pine kernel. So guys, this is not, we're not talking about like, oh my gosh, the pine kernel sounds really difficult. No, let's think about these things. Let's put it together, what it's talking about, okay? Stuff you can get your hands on. Helpeth with those that are basically spitting lots of blood. The leaves applied to the places troubled with the shrinking of the sinews or arteries gives much ease. The juice of the leaves of the roots given to drink with old wine cureth the bites of serpents. The roots beaten, you know what serpent is, right? Snakes. Okay. The root beaten with a little salt and laid on the place suddenly easeth the pain and cures the bite of a mad dog. Woo-wee. The juice of the leaves drank with honey promote urine and ease the pain in the bladder. The seed being drunk in wine some days relieves sciatica. The leaves bruised with the white of an egg and applied to any burn taketh out the fire. Gives sudden ease and heals it up afterwards. The decoction of I thought it said fermented, but it's fomented. The decoction of the fomented of any fretting sore or canker stayeth the corroding quality. If afterwards anointed with an ointment made of the same liquor, hog's lard, nitre, and vinegar boiled together. The root may be preserved with sugar and taken fasting or at other times for the same purpose. And for consumptions, the stone and diarrhea, the seed is effectual to break the stone and expel it by urine. That's good to know because a lot of people get in those stones. You know, bad diet, bad food, all that, leaching from our bones. Another stone breaker, basically, to break the stone and expel it by urine. It's often used with other seeds and herbs, perhaps this one here, because this one did the same. And that's burdock, guys. I mean, pretty bitchin', huh? Let's see what we've got. I think this one was done by recipes too, so we can't really use it, but let me check. Yeah, that one's done differently. I don't want to have to dig. No digging today. Let's see in Home Remedies if it had burdock, because it's usually very short in these books. Only in the olden days did they actually go into a lot of write-ups. Oh, I think this one's done backwards. Okay. Let's find burdock. Oh, I see this is done. Okay. These. Okay, I knew it'd have it. Burdock. Okay, there it is. Basically kind of looks like a comfrey root. And again, let's just go into some ancient uses. So it looks like we're used in ancient China for anorexia, arthritis, fever. Root purified the blood, treated cancer and syphilis. Used burdock for cancer, again, it looks like. And English herbalists favored it for boils and scurvy. The Native Americans used it for various issues, including the skin sores. In the 20s, burdock root was an alternative cancer therapy. Oh, plus Essiac and Hoxie. I know what Essiac is. I love Essiac tea. I don't know what Hoxie is. In the 1940s, its sticking nature inspired Velcro invention. That's interesting. Again, the little boys want to play with those things. This goes on. It promotes. Do you want me? Here, let me sit up.
Oh, sorry.
I have the habit. Yoga allows me to just fold over. So, okay, that way Rhea doesn't have to kill herself here. The 1920s saw burdock root. Oh, we just did that. Alternative to cancer. It promotes urination benefits, heart health, aids, and the maintaining cholesterol. Now, again, guys, I mean, we are talking about a pretty big thing here. This one was mind-blowing. We're only on number 2. For wounds, its leaves have been explored as non-stick bandages. Isn't that nice when you have a big wound, not to have to rip your wound back open to get the bandage off? I used to hate when my mom would be like, okay, here it goes, 1, 2, 3. You were like removed the whole part that had healed. Burdock root extract offers potential and is a prebiotic medicine due to its rich phytochemicals and antioxidants, along with its antimicrobial properties. Drinking burdock root tea may benefit individuals with knee osteoarthritis, that's pretty much me, by improving cholesterol levels and blood pressure. Well, I'll take it. I didn't know I needed that, but burdock root supports vascular health. It's a blood purifier, lymphatic system strengthener, and natural diuretic. All you with kidney problems. Its roots help promote the gut. They provide antioxidants to reduce inflammation and support heart and stomach health. And the last 2, basically, it is rich in dietary fibers and polyphenols, making fermented burdock is a potential aid for diabetes management and keeping your pancreas healthy. That's pretty big. Studies suggest that burdock root helps manage body weight and influencing your fat metabolism. And the whole plant, fruit, the leaves, and the root, guys, are usable. So I hope you guys are going to start getting some burdock root. Next, turmeric, I think. We'll do turmeric, then we'll do the nettle root.